Dragon Age Veilguard First Impressions, after 10 hours. Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, I'm diving into my first 10 hours with Dragon Age Veilguard. Now, I'm going to give it to you straight. This isn't going to be all praise and no critique. I'll be covering the good, the bad, and everything in between. If you're curious whether Veilguard is worth picking up, stick around and let's get into it. Graphics and performance. One of the standout highlights of Dragon Age Veilguard is its graphics and performance. While I've seen a lot of criticism around the art style, I personally think the game looks phenomenal. The art direction is captivating, and the locations I've explored so far are visually stunning. Character designs are polished and detailed, adding to the immersive feel of the world. Performance-wise, the game runs exceptionally well. On my 4090 with all settings maxed out, the game looks excellent with no major performance issues to speak of. The only minor drawback is the transition between cutscenes and gameplay. It can be a bit jarring as it loads into a separate screen for the cutscene before transitioning back to gameplay. It disrupts the flow and doesn't feel seamless. That said, this is a small nitpick. Overall, the graphics and performance are spot on and easily one of the best aspects of the game. So far, the companions in Dragon Age Veilguard haven't resonated with me. I haven't felt a real connection with most of them. Harding, Neve, or even Bellara, the Veil Jumper girl, whose name I struggled to remember. The only character who has sparked some interest is Lucanus, mainly because of the intriguing dynamic involving the demon he carries on his back. There's potential there, and it hints at deeper storytelling. The others, however, feel underwhelming. Bellara's voice acting, for instance, borders on annoying, and some members of her faction are equally grating.
Open. And now, raw magic. Thick as fog. Only a god, or gods, could have done that. There's something kind of exciting about it. And dangerous. Really dangerous.
11 wounded, 16 on bed rest, and some of our most experienced fighters are still missing.
Harding had one standout moment that caught my attention, but Neve has been mostly forgettable. When I compare this to Baldur's Gate 3, it's striking how different the experiences are. Each companion in Baldur's Gate feels layered, like an onion with so many intricate sides to uncover. The connection you form isn't always instant or rooted in liking them from the start. It's about being intrigued by who they are and the way they evolve over time. Initially, they might put up a front, but as you dig deeper, they reveal new aspects of their character that draw you in. In Veilguard, I haven't felt this kind of pull. Apart from Lucanus, and maybe Harding after a specific event, there hasn't been much to keep me invested in the party. I hope that changes as I play more, but for now, I'm disappointed. In Dragon Age Inquisition, I loved having companions like Cassandra, Sarah, and Varric in my party. Their banter was consistently entertaining and added humor to the journey. Here, the banter is serious, lacking the humor that made previous games so memorable. Dialogue options and writing. From the early hours of Dragon Age Veilguard, it becomes glaringly obvious that the writing leans heavily on repetition and over-explanation. One scene that really highlights this is when Neve, a key character, gets injured at the start of the game. Within just an hour of gameplay, she's bombarded with questions and comments like, "Are you okay? Can you go on? And you're injured? Are you fine?" 5 or 6 times over. It's relentless to the point where it becomes genuinely annoying. You start thinking, didn't someone just ask that 2 minutes ago?
Nev, are you okay to go?
It's a headache. I've worked with worse.
Nev, you sure you're up for this?
Don't worry about me.
Nev, you're injured. Stay here with the Veil Jumpers.
It's a headache. I'll be fine.
I'm getting a headache listening to the same dialogue. The dialogue lacks subtlety, too. I picked the background of a Grey Warden who defied orders to save a village, a rich setup brimming with storytelling potential. But instead of weaving this history into the narrative with nuance, it's plastered all over the script. Every NPC from the main cast to passing bystanders seems to have a line about it, and they don't shy away from bluntly stating it in the most on-the-nose manner. The result? It feels less like character depth and more like a neon sign flashing your backstory every chance it gets.
And then there's you. Remember when we first met, kid? I watched you lead a few misfit recruits and push back one of the biggest darkspawn hordes I've ever seen.
Just needed to find the right strategy.
And no other warden found it. You stopped that horde. Had to drop a town hall on it, but you've got a knack, kid.
Some of the voice acting doesn't help, either. While Dragon Age has always had its share of dramatic delivery, Veilguard crosses the line into over-the-top territory, making serious moments sound unintentionally comedic. When a scene meant to convey tension or gravity ends up feeling like an attempt at humor, it undercuts the weight of what's happening on screen. These early moments set the tone for what's to come, showcasing a game that seems afraid to trust its audience's intelligence or let storytelling breathe. It's this kind of hand-holding and surface-level presentation that makes it hard to stay invested, especially for fans who cherished the rich, layered narrative of previous titles. Combat and gameplay mechanics. So far, the gameplay and combat have been pretty enjoyable. I like the new combat system in Veilguard. It's not quite the same as previous iterations, but it works well enough. I mostly find myself using the square and triangle buttons on the PS5 controller, which, honestly, feels a bit basic at times. But trust me, there's more to it. Combining powers with your companions lets you trigger some cool combo moves, and those really elevate the experience. The ultimate ability is a lot of fun too, especially during boss fights where timing really matters. Deciding when to unleash it can make the difference between a tough battle and a smooth victory. I'm playing as a mage, and I have to say, I appreciate that mages in this game also wield a melee weapon. It means I'm not stuck standing far from the action, feeling helpless when an enemy closes the distance. Instead, I can get right in there and mix it up with close combat as well. There's definitely a strategic layer to the fighting, but calling it tactical would be a stretch. The game leans more into the action RPG genre now, with a lot less emphasis on the tactical positioning that earlier Dragon Age games were known for. The movement can feel a little floaty at times, but it hasn't been a major issue for me so far. The game does make health potions very abundant. You always know a big fight is coming when you spot a bunch of green potion jars scattered around. It's an old-fashioned approach to level design, but I don't mind it too much. There's also loot hidden in every nook and cranny, so exploring thoroughly is always worth it. I haven't gotten deep enough to talk much about gear and weapon variety yet. So far, it's mostly been uncommon weapons and armor. But overall, alongside the visuals, the gameplay and combat are definitely some of the game's highlights. Final thoughts. So what do I think about Dragon Age Veilguard after these 10 hours? It's a mixed bag. The graphics are beautiful, and the performance is rock solid. The combat system is enjoyable, and I love the combo mechanics and action-oriented shift for mages. But when it comes to the characters and writing, things get a bit rocky. The companions so far feel underwhelming, with the exception of Lucanus. The writing is heavy-handed, and the lack of subtlety in the dialogue leaves a lot to be desired. It's early days, so there's still a chance for things to improve, but as it stands, Veilguard has both high points and some serious areas for improvement. Hopefully, as I dive deeper into the story, some of these flaws will be balanced out by more depth in characters and plot twists. If you like this breakdown, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Veilguard content as we continue the adventure. And let me know in the comments, how are you finding Dragon Age Veilguard so far? Do you agree with these points or have a different take? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.